Today we're going to be replacing an old faucet. Now this faucet has been in this home since the home was constructed. It's about 11 years old. And instead of replacing the valve inside of the faucet, the homeowner decided to just go ahead and purchase a new faucet. So what we'll do is we're going to go through the process of removal of the old faucet, installation of the new, and then we'll also give you our opinion as to how the new faucet performs. So this is the faucet that we're going to be installing. This is actually, while it's set up to be a single hole faucet, which is what the countertop is in this home, it also has adapters to fit 2, 3, and 4 hole sinks as well. So whenever you're selecting a faucet, be sure to find one that corresponds with the number of holes in your countertop. So with this one, this is a Delta Valdosta. We'll open it up here and do kind of a little unboxing. This is what comes with it. This is a soap dispenser that we'll install in the second hole that's in the counter. This is the faucet itself. Let's see if we can pull this out here. Like I said, it's a single piece, and this all just feeds through. I don't know if you can see everything. This all just feeds through one hole, and it attaches from a nut on the bottom to hold it in place. And then here you have the adapters in case you have multi-hole countertops. Then there's also some various parts that you need to install it here. And this here, if you know what this is, be sure to leave a comment and let everybody else know. What is this? Sounds like a maraca. The first thing you want to do before you uninstall the old faucet is to shut off the water. The most likely place that you'll want to do that is underneath the sink itself. There's a couple of supply lines that goes up to the sink faucet. There's one there that goes to the hot. It's this right here, and basically you just turn the valve to shut off the water. And here's the other one, and this one is for the cold water. Now, if you don't have supply line shut-off valves underneath your sink, you're going to want to shut off the main water supply that's in your house. Now that we've shut off the water, we want to make sure that there's no remaining water pressure in the faucet. And you can see here, it's dripping a little bit, but pretty much all of it's shut off. It's always good to sanity check to make sure the water is off before you undo any fixtures, because if you don't, you might have a big mess to clean up. Before we get started, 2 final things. Make sure you have a bucket underneath the sink and also a towel to clean up any water. All right, once you get the lines disconnected from the supply lines, then you need to disconnect, if it's a single faucet, you need to make sure you disconnect the hose that has the weight on it by removing the clip and then pulling the connection apart. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it back through that hole. And then after that, up top, you can see where the faucet attaches to the deck. On this faucet, there are 2 locking screws, one in the front, one in the back. You need to unscrew those, make sure they're loosened, and then you can unscrew the nut that actually attaches the faucet to the countertop. So once those are loosened, then you can just pull the old faucet out and put in the new one. For this faucet, it calls for a gasket, the foam gasket to be put in place, which was included. So we made sure that we cleaned up the surrounding area around the old faucet, and this is actually the hole where the soap dispenser was. So we got that all taken care of. So now we're going to basically stick this down around this hole, and then we'll feed that new faucet in through the hole and make our connections down below. To follow the manufacturer's recommended installation instructions. So for example, on this faucet, they recommend that you, after you hook up the supply lines, to go ahead and flush the lines and have a bucket underneath the sink to catch the water. And that's to make sure that if there's any kind of debris or calcium buildup, that it doesn't clog your actual faucet itself. So before you make your final connection, you need to do that, at least with this brand. Now, the last thing that we need to do is to hook up this thing, which is actually a weight for the sprayer, and that helps make sure it can pull back in place. And I'm going to hook that up right now, and then we'll go through the testing process of the faucet. See this? Okay, so we just make this final attachment here, and that hooks up the sprayer. Push it on all the way, and then we put this clip on it to make sure it doesn't disconnect. And that's that.
Yes.
Okay, and it's all hooked up now. So basically this is the spout that can pull out. It's got 3 different settings, which I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. And then here's your on-off handle, hot and cold, hot's in the front, cold's in the back, and then your soap dispenser, that's included. All right, so here is the regular water stream. Here's the sprayer, which is a little bit different, right? There's kind of a gap right in here. And then this has a different feature. It's called a ShieldSpray. You hold this button down, and then basically what you're supposed to do is put your plate or whatever here, and it's supposed to cut down on the amount of water that sprays everywhere. So we haven't used this obviously to clean anything yet, but we'll go through that. Right now it looks like it works fairly well. Not quite sure if it lives up to the hype, but it's it definitely works. So, all right, so that's that. All right, that's all there is to the faucet installation. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Please be sure to remember to subscribe to the Top Homeowner channel, where we are dedicated to making you the top homeowner in your neighborhood. And also, if you have any questions or comments about the process of uninstalling the old faucet or installing a new one, or just any questions about this faucet specifically, please be sure to leave a comment and we will get back to you as soon as we can. All right, thanks again for watching.